Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Recovery Classroom. My name is Drew. I am an alcoholic, and today I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I cannot be any more grateful. One of my favorite sayings that I say a lot, I still say it a lot, and I say it not so much for the benefit of other people as much as a reminder to myself, because this is something that I need to remind myself of frequently, often, I should say. And it's a very powerful statement. Whenever we're praying for God to move mountains, we can't be surprised when he hands us a shovel. By that statement alone, if we just break down that statement alone, if I'm praying to God for a miracle, if I'm praying to God to move a mountain, whatever obstacle is in front of me, and he hands me a shovel, I can't be surprised. That means there's some type of work that I have to apply. I have to make some type of effort in helping God move this mountain or make this miracle happen. Not that he needs my help. Let me be clear. God does not need my poor might that I just don't have. He does not need my help. He wants to see it as an act of faith. That's why he wants to see how much work am I willing to put into this. And I go back to whenever I first got sober in July. It was July the 7th. That was my day 2. And God clearly, I still clearly remember the thought, the inaudible but audible voice in my head anyway, saying, I want to see how serious you are. And I use that as a point of reference. When I'm praying for a miracle, I'm praying for a particular outcome to take place. God wants to see how serious we are. And so there's an amount of work, an amount of effort that we have to apply towards the God being able to achieve that goal. And again, it's not that he needs our help, but he wants to see how serious we are. And so what does that look like? Whenever I'm praying for a particular outcome, what am I supposed to do? Well, I always go back to something I heard, another thing I heard in the rooms, which is I may not know what God's will is for me, but I sure as hell know what it's not for me. I know exactly what it's not. And so when I'm praying for a miracle or for God to move the mountain, and okay, well, what am I supposed to, what's my part? What effort am I supposed to put into this? I may not know what I'm supposed to do, but I know what I'm not supposed to do. And a lot of times that's my effort. That is the effort that I need to put into it, is just making sure that I don't drink today, making sure that I don't put a drug in my body today. That in and of itself alone, a lot of times, can be sufficient to God to show him, okay, look, he's pretty serious today. He must really want this. Now we have to be careful. I am still guilty of this. There will be times I will be praying for something, and in the deepest recesses of my brain, in the deep subconscious part of my brain, because I pray for it, I automatically expect it to happen. And I got to be careful. And that's why I say, what's my part? What am I supposed to be doing while I'm praying for God to move this mountain in front of me? Where am I supposed to be digging? And more times than I can count, like I said, there may be other things I need to do in order to move that mountain, help God move that mountain, so to speak. But the one thing I know, the only thing I know that I can do is to not drink today. I can't go wrong with that. That's the one thing you can rest assured. You can't go wrong by not drinking and by not drugging today. If you've got miracles that you're hoping and praying for, God does expect us to put in the work. Another thing I want to point out though too, and this is something that's near and dear to my heart. I see this a lot actually. I used to do this. Let me say that. I used to do this. Is I would rather try to do something in order to help further my miracle. I would rather try to do something and have God come along and correct me and say, nope, that's not what I want you to be doing. I'd rather that than to sit back, do nothing, and complain, God, why aren't you moving mountains for me? Why aren't you making miracles happen? I'd rather try something and God go, no, that's not where I want you to go. Just hang tight, hold your horses. Than to sit over here and do nothing and complain that God's not moving mountains for me. After all, don't we learn through correction? Look back throughout the course of our whole lives, we learn through correction, meaning we learn through making mistakes. I'm not talking stupid ass mistakes. That's not what I'm saying. But I'd rather try to do something and God go, yeah, that's not where I want you to go right now. Matter of fact, something I heard my sponsor say a long time ago, and I'm going to butcher this, I know, but what I might perceive as rejection, could very well be God's protection for me. I may try to, want this particular outcome and try to, do these certain things, make these certain efforts, and God goes, nope, that's not where I want you to go. And then I look back and I go, well, okay, did I expect that? Oh, I probably started expecting that. And then I have to remind myself, hey, this didn't work out. Maybe because God's got something better for me. And I can tell you, looking back through my personal history, every time something didn't work out, and I stayed out of the way, I didn't try to get behind the driver's seat of my car, so to speak. Every time I stayed out of God's way, man, it did every single time. It worked out much better, 10 times better than what I could have ever orchestrated on my own. So I hope that helps, and I hope that gives you something to remember. Whenever we're praying for God to move mountains, we cannot be surprised when he hands us a shovel. And that tells me that I got a little bit of work that I'm going to have to apply. And I really, maybe work is the wrong term, really should be saying a little bit of faith that I need to apply in hoping and praying for that miracle to come true. So with that being said, I'll let you guys go. Thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys absolutely keep me sober, and I cannot be any more appreciative. There's a topic you'd like to have discussed, feel free to drop it into an email to me, Drew, D-R-E-W, at recoveryclassroom.org. I'll take a look at it and we'll see what we can do. We'll be talking again soon, guys. Remember, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.